Are you staring at your phone's black screen in a dark room, feeling anxious? It has been long since you sent the message, but the unread mark remains. The brief silence beyond the chat window might feel like a massive cliff to you. Even if you try to understand they are busy, the anxiety grows uncontrollably. Actually, the reason we fight over contact issues isn't because of their insincerity. This is a clash of attachment styles, the survival instinct hidden in our hearts. Childhood memories have become the invisible hand determining our adult romance patterns. Today, we begin this psychological story through Uni's ordinary yet precarious daily life. Inside a lively restaurant at lunch, everyone laughs, but Uni has no appetite. Uni has no reply to the sweet morning greeting sent to the partner. At first, Uni thought a meeting was running late, but became nervous over time. Now, negative thoughts multiply in Uni's mind, growing like a monster. Uni wonders if yesterday's mistake caused anger or if their feelings have cooled. This deep-rooted anxiety continues not only in romance, but also in professional life. During the afternoon, the senior colleague asks Uni to review the report once again. Even though it's routine feedback, Uni's heart sinks and cold sweat pours down. Obsessed with the thought of disappointing the senior, Uni's hands shake all afternoon. This is a common landscape experienced by people with an anxious attachment style. It's a sensitive state where one feels a threat from even a slight silence. To be sure of love, they stay highly alert to the partner's reactions. On the other hand, Uni's partner is an avoidant type who perceives this differently. When work piles up, he puts his phone away and focuses on his tasks. To him, contact is just for relaying information, not a tool to measure love. The long, sorrowful message from Uni he checks later makes him feel flustered. Rather than a duty to comfort Uni, he feels an invisible chain tightening. Feeling restricted as they get closer, he instinctively hides in his emotional cave. This is typical of avoidant attachment, feeling repulsion when intimacy exceeds a level. The anxious type wanting unity and the avoidant wanting independent space always clash. Another colleague lives without complaints even if they contact their partner twice daily. That colleague with a secure attachment style believes contact frequency doesn't define love. However, to Uni, that relaxed attitude feels like a story from a distant land. As Friday evening arrives, Uni's resentment, suppressed all week, reaches its limit. At a dinner table after work, Uni finally speaks with a heavy heart. Uni tried to ask gently, but the words became sharp thorns for the partner. Uni raises the voice, asking why there's no contact and if they love Uni. Uni's voice trembles violently, and tears flow down the cheeks without stopping. Uni expected an apology or a warm hug, but the partner's reaction is cold. With a face full of fatigue, he asks if Uni is starting drama again. He turns away, saying he was just busy and asking why Uni complicates things. His silence to avoid the situation instills in Uni a fear of being abandoned. A cruel game of tag begins where Uni clings while the partner runs away. In the swirl of this conflict, we must face the truth hidden behind it. The anger Uni poured out was a desperate scream not to be left alone. Also, the partner's cold avoidance was a flight from emotional overload, not ignoring. Why does this tragedy of hurting each other despite wanting each other keep repeating? To find the answer, let's recall Uni's experience with a middle school friend. At that time, Uni felt abandoned seeing the best friend with another group. To resolve the anxiety of not being the center, Uni often restricted that friend. This behavioral pattern becomes a ghost dominating our lives, only changing the target. Anxious types constantly crave validation and make themselves subordinate to the relationship. Avoidant types lock their hearts for fear of being hurt and build walls. Do we have to live forever suffering in this cycle, unable to escape? Fortunately, attachment style is not a punishment, but a tendency that can change. Now, I propose a step-by-step psychological training method to practice with Uni. The first step is writing an emotional diary, an inner mirror for turbulence. Instead of calling when anxiety hits, pick up a pen and record it. Record physical reactions, such as how fast your heart beats or sweating palms. Observing emotions from a third-person perspective can slow down the speed of feelings. The second step is a rational exercise to separate facts from subjective interpretations. Separate the fact of no contact from the interpretation that you aren't loved. Keep open the possibility that the other person is busy or needs a break. It is about controlling the monster of negative imagination to save the relationship. The third step is practicing nonviolent communication to raise the relationship temperature. Instead of blaming the partner, show your vulnerable inner heart first. Honestly confess that you feel anxious and isolated when contact is cut off. Ask them to send a short greeting daily so you can feel secure. Revealing your weakness is the most courageous action to protect the bond. The final fourth step is the expansion of self-care to restore life's balance. Intentionally redirect the energy of life back to yourself from the partner. How about starting the exercise you've put off or studying a new language? Or fill your evening with delicious food and chat with close colleagues. It is a process of becoming a shining star, not just a satellite. Starting this training, Uni put the phone away and walked in the park. The beauty of the red sunset, which Uni always missed, finally caught Uni's eye. Uni realized that the evening can be beautiful even without a message. Whenever anxiety arrived, Uni whispered, "I am perfectly whole even when alone." As Uni regained composure, the partner in the cave began to come out. When he no longer felt suffocating pressure, he naturally reached out to Uni. Leadership in a relationship depends on your comfort, not on your control. A healthy romance is a journey where two independent worlds share scenery. It is never a sacrifice where one side must be subordinate to the other. Are you unable to work now because you're worried about a junior's reaction? Or are you wiping away tears in the restroom, hurt by a supervisor? I want to tell you that the root of these thoughts is not your fault. A small child who wanted love in childhood is living inside your adult self. Don't blame that child, but pat them warmly, saying it's okay now. The moment you reconcile with yourself, the tense relationship string becomes loose. Contact frequency can never be an absolute measure to prove your human value. Just because a reply is late doesn't mean you become unattractive or unimportant. You are already shining without a message, and you're a lovely existence. Don't get trapped in the small screen and miss precious moments unfolding. Take care of your inner self so it can take root rather than sway. It's a difficult process, but one step a day will transform you soon. One day, you will find yourself laughing for hours without looking at your phone. You will learn to drop a sturdy heart anchor that resists waves of anxiety. You will learn that secure attachment starts from trusting yourself, not changing them. I hope Uni's story today has been a small comfort to your heart. Just as dark nights pass and morning arrives, your relationship will find peace. I sincerely support all your sincerity in having loved and endured so fiercely. You are doing well. I hope this time becomes a seed of peace today.